What's up, guys? This is Jake with Casual Ecommerce, and in this video I wanted to go ahead and quickly go over the optimal budget for starting a brand new Shopify store. And I made a video like this, I think it was almost been 2 years ago now, so I feel like times have changed, stuff has changed, so I'm going to go ahead and provide a more detailed update to that previous video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into my computer and get into it. Okay guys, so we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. So as you can clearly see, the optimal number, the optimal budget that I prefer for starting new Shopify stores that I would recommend is $2,000. And now we're going to go ahead and analyze exactly why, and we're going to go ahead and do some math and go ahead and try and break this down so I can show you where exactly this $2,000 would be invested. So first off here, you can see we have the basic Shopify plan, which you know is $29 a month, and then plus the 4 necessary apps. So if you haven't seen my previous video I put up a couple days ago where I went over the 4 bare essential apps that I think everyone needs for a new dropshipping store. So the cost for all of this is going to be $57 a month. And this can go up once you start getting a lot of orders and you have to go ahead and upgrade beyond the free overload plan. But this is what the cost is going to be from the beginning. And then next up, this one's an optional one, but it's normally recommended to go ahead and get a premium theme. So this can run you anywhere between $100 to $200. And like I said, you can use free ones, but the paid ones kind of just help you stand out a lot more. They give you more options when designing. You can make your store look a lot better. So especially if you're trying to set up a longer term store and establish like a really strong brand, then a premium theme is definitely the way to go. And then the next cost we have here is a logo, and obviously this one isn't optional. You want to spend money to get a quality logo made, so whether you hire a designer or whatnot, this is usually going to run you around $40. However, sometimes you can spend upwards of $50, $60 on a logo, and you don't have to think that's a wasted investment because your logo is exactly what's going to be implanted in your customer's memory. It's one of the first things they see when they visit your store, so it's definitely something that's really important to have. So we're going to go ahead and average that out at $40, and then that's going to total up to roughly $300 at this point. So that leaves us with roughly $1,700 left over for advertising. So you can see I kind of went ahead and split out the advertising a little bit here, and I also wanted to kind of get a little bit more detailed instead of just say, okay, well, you're going to throw 1,000 at Facebook and 500 at Google. Well, I wanted to go ahead and explain why I chose these numbers and kind of where exactly that money is going to go. So on Facebook, I put here a range of between $1,000 to $1,200, and that's because the cost per testing one product can normally vary between $50 to upwards of $150, and if the product is more expensive, if you're selling it for more, then the testing cost is going to be a lot higher because you'll be able to afford a higher cost per conversion. So if you're testing a product that you're selling for $20, it's going to be a cheaper testing process than if you're testing a product that you're selling for $100, because if you're selling a $100 product with an $80 profit margin, then you can spend upwards of $50 a sale, even more, and still be making money. So you can see why the testing process would be a lot more expensive on something like that. And $150 is a little bit conservative when you consider that if you were doing even more expensive products on Facebook, then you might need to spend more than that as well. But normally you're not really selling anything over $100 on Facebook specifically anyway. That's normally Google's territory. So at this testing budget, this will allot you approximately 10 product tests. So 10 is a pretty good number if you're good at product research and you're good at setting up audiences, creating ads, your store looks really nice. Then normally out of your first 10 tests, on average, you'll probably be pretty likely to go ahead and find a winning product. Now, that's always not guaranteed, but if you're doing everything else right, if your store looks really good, if it looks good enough to convert, people are comfortable with buying from it, your ads are doing really well, you know how to write solid ads, your product landing pages are really nice. If all else is being done correctly and you're good at selecting products, you're selecting products that are actually trending, then you can squeeze in 10 product tests out of this budget, and most likely at least one of them will be able to go ahead and turn into a winning, profitable campaign that you can go ahead and scale up, and then that will go ahead and cover the cost of all of the other testing costs inside of here. So that covers the Facebook ads breakdown, and the Google ads breakdown is a little different. So you can see I allotted a little bit less money for the Google ads instead of splitting it 50-50, and that's because testing on Google, in my experience, you can do it with a little bit less money, especially with Facebook's rise in competitiveness. Google's just a little bit less competitive, and you can kind of gather data a lot quicker. There's not like a Facebook pixel or anything, so you're not waiting for anything to optimize. You're just essentially seeing how certain keywords play out, and then that's pretty much it. So with Google, I put here $500 to $700. And then there's different types of testing within Google. The main two, we have the shopping ads, and then we have search ads. So I put here, and now these numbers can definitely vary a little bit, but on average, you can probably test 10 to 20 products in a shopping feed at once with $50 to $150. So let's say you put 20 products in a shopping feed and you tested at $50 a day for 3 days. You should be able to determine whether or not any of those 20 products are going to be able to produce good results, and whether you want to kind of scale that out in a separate solo shopping campaign. So that's why I put the range here of 50 to 150, and you can test a lot of products at once in Google Shopping, which is obviously a plus. And then the next thing is testing single products with search ads. And typically, like I said, it depends on what the product is. The more expensive it is, same with Facebook, the budget's going to have to be higher. So I just had to pick an average number here. Typically, you can get a good amount of data with $50, unless you're testing it also depends on how many keywords you're testing. So if you're testing like 100 different keywords, then you're probably gonna have to spend more than $50. But if you have a product and you have, say, 10 main keywords that you want to go ahead and test out, you're probably going to have a good amount of data come back within the $50 range, and then you can decide, all right, well, I can start killing off some keywords and further test other keywords and stuff. So you can normally get some pretty good testing done within $50. So with the Google ads, this can either give you, on average, maybe testing 50 different products on shopping, if not more. And then, or alternatively, you could go ahead and test out 10 different products with Google search, or obviously what most people do is go ahead and mix and match both. So, they'll test on shopping and they'll test on search, or some people like to test on shopping and then products that do well in shopping, then they test it in search afterwards. There's a lot of different things you can do, or obviously you can go ahead and test straight on search as well. So this is why I went ahead and selected $2,000 as the optimal number to go ahead and start a store with, because it gives you a lot of options, and it essentially does pretty much the best it can to go ahead and, I don't want to say solidify results, because nothing can really solidify results, but I'd say that it essentially raises the odds really high that with this budget and everything executed correctly, you're most likely going to be able to find your first winning campaign, be it on Facebook or Google. And especially if you execute everything right, like I said, if your store looks good, your branding's good, your product research, if everything is done correctly with this budget, the odds are very much in your favor that within this budget, you're going to find a winning campaign, be it on Facebook or Google, if not both. And then you're going to go ahead and be on the path to scaling up your first winning campaign. So I feel like this is a pretty good number. I wanted to go ahead and provide a detailed breakdown based on actual math and numbers to kind of justify my reasoning behind it. I didn't just want to make a 10-second video to go ahead and just throw out a random number and not actually explain myself. So like I said, I think this is a good number to save up to or set aside to go ahead and start your store with. Go ahead and let me know in the comments if you have any questions or what you think about this number, whether you think it's too high or too low. And go ahead, give the video a thumbs up if you like it, subscribe to the channel for more content, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in another video.